Welcome back. You're watching The Full View. Well, we're giving you live updates from the ANC provincial conferences. We'll start in Gauteng this evening. Joining us now is SABC's Abongile Dumako, is joining us from the ground in Pretoria. A very good evening to you. Essentially, as the ANC PC draws to a close, let's have a look at some of the highlights around Gauteng's conference.
Good evening, Shantae. Yes, indeed. As you've alluded, the conference is underway here in Irene at St. George's Hotel. 1,600 delegates are attending this three-day elective conference, 13th elective conference of the ANC. Of course, it was officially opened by an address from the ANC president himself, that is now Cyril Ramaphosa. He did, of course, highlight the importance and the need for South Africans and, of course, ANC members to make sure that they continue to forge unity just ahead of the 2019 national elections, saying that that's all is needed for the ANC to retain its former glory, making it a point that they get as much support as possible, saying that infighting has to come to an end within the party, and of course saying that the moment they unify themselves, they'll be in a good position to continue to make it a point that they forge unity. And the one major important issue that will be on a maximum level is service delivery to the millions of South Africans whom would depend on the ANC's leadership. Another point that he did highlight was the fact that the ANC delegates gathered here, they need to make it a point that they work towards the 2019 elections as a united front, saying that they are still bleeding as the party from having lost, three major metro municipalities in the country, saying that it was as a result of some of the wrongdoings that they were taking place within the ruling party, saying that that needs to be corrected to make it a point that come 2019 they actually get back to their former glory.
Definitely. Abongile, KZN recently and before in the past also has seen parties' internal opposing views spill over continuously into the public domain. Yesterday, ANC SG Ace Magashule also calling members involved as being counter-revolutionary. What has the word been on internal disputes from the Gauteng ANC leadership with regards to factions and seemingly running to the courts as their first court of action?
Well, basically, the acting chairperson of the ANC in the province, that is now Gauteng, David Makura, in his address, he did allude to the fact that there has to be some change on how people or members behave when they are aggrieved within the party, saying that courts should be a last resort because there are internal processes within the ANC that look into solving internal disputes, referring, of course, to that court interdict that was applied for by the Ekurhuleni region, saying that they don't feel this conference should be taking place due to some disputes that have been taking place in that region, saying that, Makura saying that, no, that's not how we should be going, but highlighting as well, of course, that maybe there's a reason, there's an underlying factor that leads to these members heading to courts when they are not happy, saying that that needs to be taken into consideration so that the party can be able to resolve issues internally. And of course, on the KZN issue, we understand that the High Court there in KwaZulu-Natal did sort of, dismiss that interdict, and as a result now the conference continues, having been opened officially by the ANC Secretary General Ace Magashule. Same applied here in Irene, Pretoria, with the Gauteng one. Everything seems to be going smoothly. We've just heard from the acting chairperson now delivering his chairperson report, and of course Secretary General Hope Papu taking to the fore as well, delivering his report. Now we are fighting, if I may put it like that, with the leadership to allow us to enter in the hall during when the nomination process takes place, because there's a lot of development that we anticipate might come to the fore in as far as that nomination process goes.
Essentially, what are we expecting with regards to that nomination process, and have you been able to actually speak to members on the ground to gauge their thoughts in specifically this evening's provincial elective conference?
Well, indeed, we managed to speak to the members on the ground, of course, off camera, because they're not really allowed to speak to us. Only officials, your spokespersons are allowed. But they are saying that they are looking forward to electing David Makura as the chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng. And of course, in the runner-up for the deputy chairperson, we've got Lebogang Maile, we've got Park Star, we also have got Panyazali Sophie. Very interesting trio there that we're looking forward to see who is going to accept the nomination. Are they going to be able to be available to serve in that portfolio? And of course, there's the Treasurer General, which is currently held by Ntombi Mehwe. We understand that she's also contesting for that position, as well as the Secretary General of the province, Hope Papo, is also contesting for that position. So we are going to, if allowed, get a sense of how the nomination is going to unfold inside this hall right behind me.
Thank you very much for that. Abongile Dumako for SABC News with a live update from the ANC Gauteng provincial elective conference currently taking place in Irene, east of Pretoria. Over to Francis.